Okay, so have you ever heard of a programming language with, well, a split personality? Today, we're diving into something called Omicron. It's a language that, depending on which document you read, presents this really deep and fascinating puzzle. One set of sources paints this picture of an incredible, revolutionary tool for creators.
Right? I mean, in its promotional material, Omicron is sold as this visionary tool. It's supposed to be for the next generation of developers, AI engineers, the builders. It's framed as a complete revolution, a promise of a better, way more secure way to build our future. But that is only half the story. Not even close.
Because then you find another set of documents, this gritty, super technical guide, and it describes the language in much darker terms. It's not a tool for building, it's a tool for breaking. It's explicitly called a cyber weapon, the preferred language for creating advanced persistent threats, and we're talking about those sophisticated, long-term hacking campaigns, the kind that are often backed by governments.
And that right there, that's the heart of the Omicron Enigma. So to try and figure this out, we have to look at both faces of this language, starting with its promise of, well, perfect defense. All right, so first, let's explore Omicron the way its creators publicly wanted us to see it, a language just meticulously designed for security, with the goal of building systems that are resilient from the ground up. So the Omicron Mastery textbook, it paints a really clear picture here. The whole philosophy is that security should never be an afterthought. The language itself is supposed to guide you, to nudge you into writing safe code. It makes secure choices the absolute easiest path. And it forces you to be super deliberate to actually type out unsafe if you want to do something potentially dangerous. And these principles, you see them here, they're a direct answer to the most common ways software fails. Take capability-based permissions, for example. This is huge. It basically means a piece of code that's designed to edit a photo, well, it can't also read your email. It only has the exact capability it was given. It's kind of like giving a valet a key that only starts the car, but it won't open the trunk or the glove box. This is how you build a fortress, piece by secure piece. And for the really critical stuff, the documentation talks about using something called formal methods. This is totally next level. We're not just talking about testing here. It's about using a mathematical logic to literally prove that a piece of code is free of certain types of errors. This is the kind of absolute assurance you need for things like aerospace systems, medical devices, or, the core of a secure operating system. But now, we have to flip the coin. Let's switch over to that other source and see how this brilliant defensive tool is also documented as the ultimate offensive weapon. I mean, this quote from the exploitation guide is just chilling. This isn't about finding bugs in Omicron. No. This is about using Omicron's incredible power to build the very tools that exploit bugs in everything else. The language isn't just a tool. It's a completely self-contained workshop for creating advanced cyber attacks. And just look at how structured this is. It's a professional workflow built right into the language itself. An attacker feeds it some data from their reconnaissance, and Omicron helps generate a polymorphic payload. That's a piece of malicious code that is constantly changing its own signature to avoid antivirus software. Then it helps deliver it and control the system. It's literally a factory for attacks. These modules really show just how professional this whole tool set is. Look at Exfil Core. It uses steganography to steal data. That means hiding secret information inside of totally ordinary files, like images or music files. So the data gets out in plain sight and nobody is the wiser. This is not just some collection of scripts, it's a complete cyber kill chain in a box. The features list just reads like something straight out of a spy movie. We're talking about disrupting critical infrastructure through SCADA hacks. That's attacking the control systems for things like power grids or water treatment plants. It even has a built-in protocol for trading zero-day exploits, which are these powerful secret vulnerabilities that nobody has a defense for yet. This is so far beyond typical cybercrime. So, okay, we have two completely different descriptions, two totally opposing philosophies. But the mystery, it actually gets even deeper. Turns out, the language doesn't just have two philosophies, it has two completely different syntaxes. Just look at this. On the left, from the secure engineering textbook, you see this clean, formal syntax. Looks a lot like C or Java, right? Pretty standard stuff. But on the right, from the supersheet guide that's associated with all the exploitation docs, the syntax is, Well, it's different. It's tag-based, almost like a markup language, with these really informal comments. It is truly like they are two different languages that just happen to share the same name.
And all of this brings us right back to our central question. How can one thing be so perfectly designed for two completely opposing purposes? What is the reality of Omicron?
So the crucial insight when you look through all the documents is this. Omicron isn't one or the other. It's both. And that's by design. The very same features that make it so powerful for creating secure, verified systems, things like low-level control and a flexible type system, are exactly what make it so powerful for crafting these sophisticated exploits. And then, finally, one of the source documents just comes out and acknowledges this duality. It suggests the tool is the same, but it's the user's intent that defines it. For red teams, those are ethical hackers, it's a perfect training tool to test defenses. But for black hats, malicious attackers, it's a weapon. And this leaves us with a final and, honestly, a pretty unsettling thought. The story of Omicron is this powerful reminder that our most advanced tools are almost always a double-edged sword. And it leaves us wrestling with this really big question. When a language can build both the perfect lock and the perfect lockpick, who is really in control?